Hey everyone, this is the Geeky Panda here, ready guys, with another Sunday night stream. Now, Sunday nights I usually declare them to be DAICON nights, which include a bit of everything. You got our podcast here with the DAICON podcast with your host, myself, Geeky Panda, your tactical degenerate weeb, likes to play games, and I'd like to introduce my co-host here, Time Enforcer Anubis, the entrepreneur, the musician, the awesome gamer himself, and the man who just literally did the prime sub and look at the camera like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Welcome, Anubis.
Gentlemen.
So we're gonna do the podcast real quick first, which our main topic for tonight is Western anime translation issues. Western anime translation issues. There we go. Yeah. I need caffeine, which I do have a monster here. And then after we move on from the podcast, there is some much needed gaming tonight. So let's kick it off. Anubis, man, how you been?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I've been
literally played Pal World all day yesterday.
I was playing it last night too. I was like, after we did our game, which I did record, folks, and it's a 3-hour recording, so it will be uploaded, hopefully, and be ready by tomorrow. I shit you not, I went in and there was a shiny in the beginning area. I'm like, I'm gonna capture this. I'm like, I didn't realize the game even had shiny pals to begin with, and I saw this thing like literally like an aura of glow around the pal. I'm like, well, this is a shiny Pokemon. At this point, I'm just used to. I've been calling stuff like pals. Oh, hey, that was a Pokemon. It's not a Pokemon. Oh, hey, let me throw my Pokeball. It's not a Pokeball. Oh, hey, let's. But the game is surprisingly addicting. It's good. I've been enjoying it. Like, I feel like I'm playing like a Pokemon game that was released on Steam with a bunch of mods that made it better. Like, this game is more stable than like fucking Scarlet and Violet, which when those games came out, it was really buggy.
Right.
Like, holy fucking shit. But Aqua, I recommend it. I recommend picking up that game. I've been having a lot of fun with it and stuff like that. And it's actually, and we're gonna be talking a little bit about this later on, but yeah, a lot of people are playing it. Other than that, I've started watching this season's anime. I want to say the Moshi and the Muscles and Magic and Muscles. I've been watching season 2 of that. I've been really enjoying it so far. I also been watching a few other things here and there at random. Like, I started watching Chained Soldier a little bit. I still haven't finished the first episode yet. I got caught off busy, but Mr. Villain's Day Off I've been enjoying so far. Like, the bad guy just wanted to have a day off, and he loves pandas. Like, come on. When you're trying to take over the world, you do need a day off. So, I do like it right there. What about you, man? Anything you've been watching this season?
Not yet. I haven't started this season yet.
Oh, really? Damn. So, but other than that, gaming wise, I've been playing the usual amount of games. I'm really excited because in a few days, Yakuza Infinite Wealth will be coming out, which I am excited for. And also, a lot of fighting game fans out there is going to be playing Tekken 8.
I'm sure they will.
Yes. And you'll have jokes at the ready for anyone who plays it.
I'm not going to say whether or not I think that's a good decision, but I'm sure they will.
Actually, it was there was a content creator out there, and he was talking about how he doesn't want to go, like, put a lot of time and effort into Tekken 8 because he said, like, in order to get good at Tekken, it's going to take a lot of time. Like, it's not like a newbie friendly game, I were to say. But at the same time, I'm like, you ever seen Virtual Fighter?
Yeah. Again,
like anyone can play. Like, anyone can play a fighting game, but it takes time for you to get really good at the fighting game on the competitive level.
Yeah, and different fighting games have different levels of.
Yeah, I think like Virtual Fighter is definitely up there because it's not like really a button masher. Like, you have to be very conscious of what you're doing with combos and all that dang stuff. So
Exactly.
Same thing with also kind of like Street Fighter as well. You can't really be button mashing, but button mashing friendly games, of course, is like Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive. But Dead or Alive has that counter system, which could really fuck up people's day.
It's Dead or Alive is button mash friendly at a low to like middle low level, but once you learn the counter system,
Yep.
it becomes a lot less effective
Oh yeah.
in very short time.
Yeah. But other than that, PAX East and Anime Boston is coming up, and we're both really excited for that. Which Anubis, Homegirl is gonna be her first AB,
Yep.
and for those who don't know, our ABs usually have a couple of traditions out there, including for and not limited to, we always order at least one night 100 wings. We have to have 100 wings variety style, whether it be barbecue, buffalo, garlic parmesan, like something varieties on that scale, basically. You know, I kind of want to buy like a bottle of ranch dressing just in case. We don't want to have to go
That'd
through
be a good call.
Yeah, yeah. Star Market's right there. All the other drinks and stuff like that. You know, I'll be like a mad scientist concocting like the craziest of drinks in like the hotel bar, basically. And when I mean hotel bar, I mean like literally the corner of the hotel room, because we will have enough, drinks out there for everyone. So honey mustard, like, yeah, honey mustard's not bad. You know, if you were to say blue cheese, get out. Who likes blue
No,
cheese?
we don't do that over
We
here.
don't do blue cheese, please. But at
We
PAX
don't
East,
claim that.
PAX East, I'm really excited for PAX East. I am going there. My content creator badge is confirmed. Hotel is also I reserved that a while ago, and it's still good. I actually just checked back again. Prices are a lot higher. We're spending. This is a king suite, and suites have a living room with a kitchen setup. It's basically the same hotel room we had last year, which it was in my video. So just to context, it's $2,500 for a Wednesday to Monday stay. The hotel room right now, if you were to do that, I think it's over $3,000 now, and I'm like, damn. So, but they do have free breakfast, which it was like a hotel with free breakfast is really, I mean, it's a nice thing. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really nice feature.
I'll be honest with you. I think there's maybe 2 times I've actually taken advantage of the free breakfast at a hotel.
Really? Because
Yeah.
me and Jamie always take advantage of that. We always wake up early. We're like down in the hotel lobby, just like because it's like I'm not spending money on breakfast. Like I could just eat all the breakfast I want here. Start the
Yeah,
day.
I've almost never done that. I think it's twice that I've actually done that.
Damn. Like PAX East, we always did that. Like that was actually the funny thing of the hotel. Like, all right, which hotels are there? Okay, which hotels have really good amenities? Okay, which hotels have free breakfast? And funny enough, it's like literally right across the street. I'm in the convention center too, so.
See, like 85 to 90% of my criteria when choosing a convention hotel is it close?
Yeah, well, yeah.
How
Like
close
that's
is it? And the rest is price.
Yeah, that's the thing that I also do is like it's like play like how close it is, convenience, and pricing. But if it has the extra amenities, that could influence as well. I always do, especially European breakfast. So I am excited for that. And there's Anime NYC actually just made an announcement their badges are on sale because it's actually going to be taking place in August. So I'm thinking about maybe going there, but at the same time, it's like there's all these conventions I want to go to. Like I'm sure, Anubis, you have conventions that you would love to go to, but it's just
there are a couple that I would definitely want to attend at some point.
like what?
Comic-Con,
Oh hell yeah!
Wonder Festival,
Where's that at?
Japan.
Oh okay. Anything in America?
Nothing that I'm in a big hurry for.
Otakon. Of one of these
Maybe.
days, maybe. This is also the first time I've seen Incubus. You mean Anubis? Because breakfast is mostly bagels and cream, but Europe it's like a proper breakfast. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good bagel, unless you're from California and you say it weird, and then New Yorkers might be don't like that. But either way, don't worry about that way. Well, so let's get on to the news. And for those who are coming in a little late, don't worry. This is all recorded and it'll be uploaded next Friday or next weekend during the downtime. So because this is a bi-weekly podcast, so don't worry. everything's always recorded. So, coming on with the news, first and foremost, Ubisoft executive coming in hot saying gamers need to get comfortable, quote unquote, not owning their games for for subscriptions to take off, and that kind of irked a lot of people. Like, if you want to promote like a subscription service for your games, okay, I can understand that, but the way you say it, it didn't really invest. You ended up pissing off more people than you actually, would have people do your service.
So let's remember had like this is a decade and change ago, I believe. When Sony told people that they don't own the things that they buy. Do you
Mm.
remember what happened to Sony when they said that? That
Oh,
was the PSN hack
but the
that
PS3
happened to
era.
Sony. Yeah, because
Yep.
Sony decided that they want to run their mouths and tell consumers that they don't own the things that they spent their hard-earned money for, and that Sony can just make changes to it make changes and remove advertised functionality whenever they want. So I think so, and I think this is a real big part of it that's not being focused on. That he's saying gamers need to be comfortable with not owning their games or subscriptions to take off. So he's trying to push a particular business model,
Yeah.
and is saying that basically saying that basically developers and publishers need to social engineer consumers to get used to a particular kind of buying their media
Yeah.
in order
Because
for this business model that they want it to actually work.
yeah, it's like because they want to push more subscription-based services. Like we got, for instance, we have the Xbox Game Pass. I don't use it too much personally, but I do have the Ultimate Game Pass, which includes PC games, and I've used it from time to time. And I'm like, okay, I kind of like this because it's kind of like if I'm wondering about a game and how it is, I can try before I buy, or I can beat the game out real quick. But I usually, to me personally, I like to buy my games. I like to have like that ownership of buying my games. And when you're telling me like, oh, don't worry, it's all gonna be in the subscription. You don't need to buy it. It's like, don't worry about buying. I'm like, no, I want to
Yeah.
buy it.
Anytime a manufacturer of products tells you, "Hey, you don't need to worry about owning this thing that you're paying money for," that's a red flag.
Yeah. Don't you guys
That's
have?
like,
Don't you
"Oh,
guys have
okay."
phones?
It was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay. Why is it you need, as the manufacturer, why is it you need people to not actually own the things that they're purchasing? How does that advantage you? Because you're the one pushing this business model."
Yeah. It's
Also, eh, maybe this is a low blower or a cheap shot. I don't know when was the last time that I was pumped enough about a Ubisoft game to to forgive bad predatory business models. Like I bought like I I'll grin and bear it for Breakpoint because I got that on sale.
Mhm.
And the most egregious thing about it is it keeps forgetting that I'm supposed to be logged into Uplay.
uh, yeah.
But
That
what
is
they're gonna demand they're gonna continue to demand my money for games that I would not continue paying for if there were or a subscription service. There are
gotcha.
very few games that I would pay as a subscription service.
Oh god, yeah. Like again, like the only thing I'm
I
comfortable with right now is the Xbox Ultimate Pass because it covers, both, console and PC. And I've used it for some PC games like City Skylines 2. I didn't buy it on Steam because of the issues that it's had. So I tried it out on Game Pass real quick. I'm like, okay, it's fun, but there's a lot of issues and lack of features. So I'm gonna hold off of buying it I'm comfortable with that, but it's like I'm not comfortable with like having like all these subscriptions for games now. Like, fuck. Okay, but
It's
yeah,
like I can understand it in terms of an MMORPG.
oh yeah, oh, like
Other types of games, I don't know why you need it to be a subscription service, other than you spent too much making this game and now you need more money. And that's not
money.
my
Yeah,
problem. That's not
no,
my
it's
fucking problem that you spent a whole lot of money that you didn't need to spend in order to make a game that wasn't that good.
yeah. And then you keep making sequels to that game, thinking it would be like the next best thing, but it was okay at best.
We're
Like,
gonna we have a article later on that we're gonna talk about a game that was super successful and guarantee you 100% guarantee did not spend anywhere near as much on development as any of these AAA titles.
yeah, well,
Guarantee you it was infinitely cheaper than any of these AAA titles that now they're saying, oh well, we need subscriptions to take off in order to make this thing profitable. Maybe you should have made your game cheaper and better, which we know is possible.
yeah. Wait, well, I'd rather own it than download it for a subscription, knowing as soon as I cancel that service, I won't be able to play it again. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's the issue.
yeah, that's like a key thing here, and like, and after that Ubisoft executive said that, like again, he kind of irked and pissed off a lot of people saying that. Like, that's what I hate. It's like what you said. I hate it when they think like publishers and game devs and all that stuff. Oh, hey, you're gonna like this. Like we're gonna do it this way because you're gonna like it. I'm like, no,
Nobody asked you to do
no,
it
no
that
one
way.
asked you to do it
This
like
is
that.
something that's not it like it, this is not a manifestation of consumers asking for something and companies giving the consumers what they want.
Hmm.
This is companies saying, we want more money, and then building things and then making it so the only way to get the whatever bullshit they're putting out is to go through their dumb business model. Their dumb business model that's created to be an inconvenience on the consumer, take more money from them while giving them less.
Yeah, like, and the thing about subscription services is like, yeah, on paper it's a nice idea, but again, what happens if the internet goes out? You're
Well,
kind of
it's
shit out
like
of luck. You're kind of shit out of luck there.
I can understand a subscription. Again, I can understand it for an MMO. You're continuously maintaining this game, keeping servers up, continuously like putting out various content and whatnot. It's a complex game that you need to maintain. And quite frankly, that's really not even the business model for MMOs anymore. Like I'm talking about a previous generation business model for MMOs where every single one of them had a monthly subscription. Now
Yeah,
a lot of them don't. A
yeah,
lot of massively multiplayer games, like not even RPGs, a lot of large scale multiplayer games don't. You either you buy it once and you can play it as much as you want. Go figure. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever come up with this idea that we came up with back in back when video games came out, that you buy a thing one time and then you can play it whenever you want. But it's
mhm,
either that or it's free to play and they have some other monetization model included in it. And there's many criticisms for that, but that's besides the point. The idea that anybody is going to pay a subscription service for any of these games, it it's you better make the best video game known to me. You better come out with the next, I don't know, the next Mass Effect or the next Halo, or and it's gonna have to be better than that because both of those games are games that you buy once and you can play whenever you want.
yeah. And also to note here, my food is actually coming up. For those who don't know, I actually ordered food delivery, and he's almost here. Wait, he's driving. I love real time deliveries things that But other than also, I will mention, not to mention, with inflation, everyone is struggling financially. Yeah, games are getting more expensive to make, which now we're seeing $70 game price tags becoming more of a common thing. You know, it's just everything's getting pricier. Hell, we don't even have the.
If you're gonna put if $70 on a price tag for
It better be worth it. Yeah.
it had better be a $70 game. Just like if Homeboy wants people to get comfortable not owning their games, they need to make games good enough that people need to play them. Like they need to make games that are good enough that people like scramble over themselves to play them, regardless of whether it's a subscription or not. But there, I don't know that that a game exists that people are going to do that at scale to a level where this is going to be something wildly successful that the rest of gaming latches onto.
Yeah. All right, moving on. And then uh like $20 for DLC. Like, was that DLC even, was that part of the main game, or was this actually DLC that was made,
Exactly.
Did you cookie cutter this?
Was this included in the game files, or is this actual things that you made after the game was done?
Which I like that whole like metaphor of like a cheeseburger is the video game, but okay, hey, when it comes out, oh, here's the buns, here's the meat. Oh, you want all this stuff? Well, okay, it could be coming in the future as a patch. Oh, wait, no, this. Oh, wait, the cheese, the sauces. Oh, that's DLC. That's DLC that was supposed to be there, but it's not.
And by the way, what you ordered was a cheeseburger, so it's
Yeah.
supposed to have the cheese already on it.
Yeah.
But they added the cheese after the fact in a DLC, kind of like they did with Halo Infinite. Oh, we're giving you the multiplayer now, but the story comes out at some point later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad business models. They're all over the place in the AAA industry, and that's one big reason why like indie and the part of the industry inhabited by the Ace Combats and the Armored Cores of the world are doing so well right now. The Ace Combats, the Armored Cores, the Dark Souls, Elden Rings of the world are doing so well right now.
Yeah. All right. Also, newsflash. I don't know if my driver is stuck. It says they're on the way there, but they've been sitting like in this one spot. And I don't know if they're stuck or not, because the way there's two ways to get to my house. One way is the better route, but the automatic GPS doesn't like to choose that route, even though the road is right there. Yeah, he literally just turned around. I'm sorry, folks. He literally just turned around and be like, "There's another way to get there." Oh boy, I'll probably give him an extra, like, a few bucks. Be like, "Sorry, that road is no go." Yeah, the Game Awards was not good because these issues, as well as other. Yeah, the writer's strike too. But yeah, we will be continuing this podcast here in a hot second. Here, the next topic, we're actually be talking about Pal World, and how surprisingly, actually, it literally came out of like, seriously, a home run right out of the fucking gate. This is like a game that AAA devs wish they could have the success of.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're gonna be talking a bit about Power. We also got a few other things too, because I love that we mentioned, it's like, you got the bun. It's like, here's the game. Wait a minute. Here's the buns and the meat. Everything else is coming either in a post patch, or wait a minute. It's DLC. Oh, you didn't. Oh, you bought the game used. Well, you don't get the DLC thing. You had to pay extra for that, regardless. Yeah, that was the other.
I forgot all about that.
Remember they did that with
ship.
Mass Effect 3.
For Mass Effect. Yeah,
Mass Effect 3 specifically. If you bought it new, cool in the gang, you're good. If you bought it used, EA was like, "Oh, you could buy the extra stuff, but for a price."
Well, it's not extra.
I know it's not extra,
It's
but
stuff that's kind of like, it's stuff that's supposed to be there, but
Yeah, but it's not.
they yeah.
Speaking of which, Pal World is a game that literally came out right out of the gate and is making huge waves in the gaming world right now. It is now celebrating their 4 millionth player. This game literally came out, I think, like what, a day ago or 2 days
Yeah,
ago?
like one or a couple days ago, a few
Yeah.
days ago.
And they've hit 4 million players, and they at one point there was almost 1.3 million players playing it at the same time. That's like a dream that people, that some game publishers and developers wish they could do.
Exactly.
Oh man. Hey, ranch dressing. But yeah, no, me and Anubis and Sternal and everyone else was playing it last night, and it's good. Like, the game is really surprisingly good. Well, yeah, I just watched the trailer. It looks like Zelda, Pokemon, and Ark. You're not wrong. That's what it actually feels like. And what's Ark game anyway? Survival game. Like, the building mechanics is simple and easy. It plays kind of like a Pokemon game, but except with guns and violence, extreme violence. I mean, not too extreme, but they do have a lot of plans for it. It is an early access, and we already, like, as a group, we completed our first boss, which I will upload the YouTube video tonight and hopefully be available tomorrow. But it's a lot of fun. Like, obviously, yeah, it's like I'm gonna call it Pokemon. The pals definitely have references from Pokemon and stuff like that, and I thought it was like, okay, let's call them Palmons. Pokemon, Digimon. Wait, there's already, like you said, Palmon, right?
Yeah, Palmon is a Digimon.
But I honestly, after playing it, Anubis, this is good.
It's very good.
I can definitely see why people are enjoying this, and honestly, this actually gives me a lot of hope, because the 4 million players right now, and they're still having more and more players come in. Everyone's streaming, everyone's making content, meaning they got a lot of money and cash flow coming in that they can actually work on the stuff they want to do. Like, content wise.
I was just thinking about this earlier. Like, they have 100 plus of these creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of these things is something that could potentially become like merchandise.
Oh god, yeah. Did I order Wendy's? No, a Philly cheesesteak place. They just had fries. They can totally merchandise this. And think about it this way: base game, Pal World. Oh, we want to introduce another generation. Here's a DLC package.
Exactly.
Like, oh, you want modding?
Like, you don't have to do a whole new game anymore. You can just make it. You can just make it DLC.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry if I'm eating on my podcast, but we'll keep it real and chill.
It's
here.
your podcast.
Man,
whatever the fuck you want. It's your podcast.
Yeah, it's like we're not bestowed. Oh, this is an 18 plus podcast. I could say fuck if I want to, or shit. Blowjobs are awesome and shit like that. Missionary positions, take it or leave it. But no. But no, Power World is, again, I was playing it, and it's a really fucking good game. And it actually, the Steam servers are having a hard time keeping up with it. It's becoming that popular. Our friend Moogle is actually setting up a dedicated server for it, which is up to 32 players, but I think the game devs said they can go up to more. It just, again, the game just came out, so they're trying to iron out a few things and stuff like that. Obviously, there's more content coming out. Hold on, let me actually show you guys here. I'm taking you guys to my Steam page. Power World.
Damn, homie covered up my face for it. That's how it is.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, because it. Okay, early access launch. So the game is also available on Game Pass, but there's some issues. But they did say they were going to patch it up. Crossplay support between Xbox and Steam. Not at launch, but they're working on it. Will it come out to the PS5? They'll consider it, but as of right now, no. Yeah, Power World can be played offline in single player? Yes, you can. I'm like, excellent.
Yes.
Does Power World support modding? Steam Workshop support won't be supported straight away, but we plan on doing it after launch. And Power World is made on the Unreal 5 engine, so they're really intrigued to see what kind of mods people cook up with, which I'm actually really, really curious because the modding potential is gonna be fucking nuts. So again, all they gotta do is just make it, and then they're good to go. Would this mean it would be difficult to play at the moment? No,
No,
gameplay's just fine. I've had little to no issues at all. Maybe there were like I think out of the whole game I encountered like one or two bugs, and they were like small bugs. It wasn't like game breaking too, which is
yeah, they're
absolutely nuts.
tiny. I've encountered a couple, and they're not a big deal.
Yeah, we can do like it's nothing like earth shattering basically. So you give the Pokemon food to tame them like a Arc does.
No,
No,
you catch them in a ball.
you catch them in the ball. You can either use your own Pokemon. I'm gonna
You
call them
catch them
Pokemon.
you catch them in a ball, and then you put them to fucking work.
Yeah, like you can either use your own pals to damage them and capture them, or you can use your fists or guns. It's literally take your fucking pick. I don't fucking care. Old habits die hard. Exactly. Yeah,
And
you
people
capture.
show up on an island and immediately just beat down the nearest cat thing.
Yeah, and it's crazy because
Justice.
the guns come late game. Like level 20 you start having like weapons like a musket, but the other guns come late game and stuff like that. Like you can have like a defensive sandbag placed with a fucking 50 caliber machine gun right there that your pal can man. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm 100% shooting one of those cat things with a musket. That's happening.
Jesus Christ. For a musket for home defense, basically. but but no, it does play like Pokemon basically. There's actually even an option to be there's a butcher's knife. And let's just say you can use it on a pal. You ain't gonna get that pal anymore, but you got food. It's
Yeah,
kind of
this
like
game's
how
not playing around.
no, which is interesting because the Pokemon manga actually had death and all that dandy stuff. The anime doesn't. They just fade, but in the manga they have death, dismemberments of Pokemon. Like it got, so it's kind of like almost like Pal World's almost like Pokemon, but like how the original idea and the manga was basically. So don't you forget you can Pal and PNC get more free. Yeah, listen, it's the workforce. Also,
Put in the fucking work.
yep, exactly. But we will give them amenities like a hot spring, food, all that dandy stuff. So, no, the Pokemon special is not graphic as you're making it out to be. No, the manga, the original manga, not the specials. The manga itself was actually had a little bit more detail. So they pals with Pokemon. They're pals, but everyone's just basically looking at them. They're Pokemon, but they're pals. Officially speaking, they're pals. But we just call them Pokemon just to make things easier. Like I don't think I'll ever stop calling them Pokemon, to be honest, because if the shoe fits, basically. That's my logic. All right, move. No, the manga you're mentioning is. Oh, it was. Oh, it was a special. Oh, okay. All right. Still, I've been corrected. Thank you, Aqua. But yeah, no, there's a lot of people playing it right now. A lot more people are playing it. It is available on Steam and the Xbox, including Xbox Game Pass. So I highly recommend it. It's only like $30, and it's on sale for like 27. So honestly, this is a really good deal. This game, there's going to be a lot of people playing this game and all that dandy stuff. And I actually captured my first shiny pal too. So, moving on. Next up is speaking of ordering a cheeseburger and missing the cheese slice and all that dandy stuff. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is coming out soon, actually in a few days, and I'm really excited for it because the game Ichiban comes back and the game takes place in Hawaii, so on the Hawaiian Islands. So, hey, one small itty bitty thing here. So, generally speaking, New Game Plus has always been like a feature attached to games free of charge. Like you don't even need to worry about it. It's either not going to be there or it's going to be there. And hey, you want to play it again? Cool, go for it. New Game Plus is actually behind a paywall. So if you order the base game, you are not going to get New Game Plus. You need to order either the $85 edition of it or the $110 edition, which is basically $15 extra minimum if you want to have New Game Plus.
It's just a wild decision, they're literally paywalling their game's replay value.
Yeah, like why would you like? It doesn't make a lot of sense when you do like oh hey pay the extra edition for new costumes or a new dungeons or quests. I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. But gameplay, new game plus, really? Seriously?
Yeah. That's a poorly made decision.
Like, from software players, just look at this like, what? You paid
Yeah.
for that?
It's like, dude, we got New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus in Armored Core. What are these guys doing?
A new game plus, but hey.
It was what both of those for free with the game, by the way.
Yeah. And yeah, it is $70 for the base game here in the US, but it's $15 extra. It just honestly just doesn't make sense and stuff like that. Everything else is kind of standard play, but this one is like, yeah. So Young Yeah, who is a voice actor and actually voices one of the roles in Yakuza, he even said, no game should lock New Game Plus behind a paywall. Doing so hurts the community's goodwill and replayability, a net negative in the long run. It should be a base feature or a free update for any game it supports. I'm like, okay, I support that. It should be, it should be a base feature or a free update.
Yeah.
Not
you're literally putting you are actively diminishing your own game's replay value.
yeah, oh yeah. 100 plus for a game is ridiculous, but the sad part is there are people out there who are stupid enough to pay that. I mean, if it's worth it, I'll spend $100. Like, I spent $100 at Diablo 4. I regretted it, but I spent it.
Well, that's a bad example because you just said, well, if it's worth it, I'll pay that much for it.
I know, and then but other things like collector's editions of games, I would totally do it if it's worthwhile and stuff like that.
Sure, but usually all the stuff included in a collector's edition is in addition to
yeah,
the
in addition to
entirety of the main game.
Like you get again, it's like here's the cheeseburger. Oh, no cheese, that's extra.
Didn't Blizzard put out a collector's edition that didn't even include the main game?
Yep.
So this is like that level of stupidity.
Yeah, which doesn't even make any fucking sense if you really think about it. Like, this is why I love Baldur's Gate 3. They release a collector's edition with an actual physical game install disc that has the game on it, not like a. Which is unheard of nowadays, but fuck yeah! But no,
you have to have all three. You have to release a physical edition that includes a disc, and then that disc has to actually have the game on it.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
Like, it has to install from the disc, not connect to the internet to install from somewhere else.
Yeah, as of right now, the Sega has not responded to the backlash of it, and I don't think they will, because they'll be like,
no,
we know you fuckers are gonna buy it. So, which kind of sucks, but at least they're like, just keep making noise about it. So, other than that, I think that is it for the news today. Now we can move on to our main segment. Well, I'm eating my food. You are all literally gonna watch me eat my French fries with ranch dressing dip. I will also accept ketchup as a base sauce, but sweet and sour is also up there too. Ranch dressing is also a good default. I'm just saying.
On French fries, just salt.
I don't think they salted this.
Upset. Not happy about that. But you know what?
That's why ranch dressing.
We'll make it somehow.
We'll make it somehow. What about milkshake dips? I don't like milkshakes.
Not a fan.
I'm actually one of the few people out there that doesn't like milkshakes. I can't drink milk directly too, so. And yeah, I am lactose intolerant, but I eat ice cream and mac and cheese, but I just cannot specifically drink milk directly because it's more of a psychological issue. Every time I drink milk, I puke. It started when I was a kid, and it keeps doing it. So, I don't want that. You don't want that. We're good. I just have mac and cheese. I will eat up mac and cheese. I think some sacrifices are worth it in the end. But anyways, our main topic for tonight anime has become such a big and huge thing throughout the years, originally starting from Japan and then making its way all around the world. Now, as such, we've had things like fan subs out there that kind of be like, hey, we don't have it yet, but we really like it, but we don't have a translation for it. So fan subs kind of fit the bill for that. But once things have become bigger, more established, we got companies that license it and adding in their own translations and making sure. Usually, the rule of thumb is when you translate and when you translate something into your country, you try to make it as accurate as possible. Granted, something's going to be a little bit weird because trying to translate Japanese into English is a little weird at times, and you have to kind of make it work. But lately, a lot of people out there has, even I myself has noticed this, that there have been some potential issues. Sorry. There's been issues popping up where you have companies licensing these animes, bringing it into the US, but the translations aren't 100% accurate and to the point where it's actually trying to portray a certain message. And it got apparently bad enough and annoying people enough where even fans from Japan have noticed this shit happening, and they're like, "Wait, why the fuck are you doing that?"
Well, so let's be very clear, because this is an issue that keeps getting conflated in a way that misrepresents what people's actual problem. The problem is not that they're not translating anime. That's been a thing for decades, honestly,
Yeah,
and has not been this level of an issue. The issue is that you have localization staff and ADR staff who deliberately insert lines into into these anime and into these other works, into these light novels,
mm-hmm.
manga, visual novels that were not part of the original text and are not part of, like, do not fit the context, do not fit the story, do not fit the author's intent. And then they're going on social media and clapping back at people about it when people are upset,
Yeah,
rightfully so, that they went in and changed this shit without any regard for whether or not people would actually appreciate what, like, what was made, what was actually made, and what if you were a Japanese speaker, what you would experience versus if you're an English speaker, what you experience. The case in point, I would like to watch Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid,
mm-hmm.
not Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid as interpreted by narcissistic people at Funimation.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the animes out there that's been actually brought up time and time again and stuff like that. But to me, when I expect a translation into, I expect it to be as close as to the source material as possible. And again, I kind of, and again, translating certain Japanese words or phrases in English does not make sense. So they have to, like, it's a little finicky basically. Because sometimes there's a word for it in sometimes there's a word for it in Japanese but not really in English. Sometimes there's a word of it in English but not really in Japanese. So they have to kind of fiddle around with it. But when you start
Again,
inserting,
but again, that's
I know,
misrepresenting the issue, though.
yeah, that is.
The issue is not that it's but this is the issue. This is what these this is what
well,
localization staff respond to when people say, "Hey, I don't like you putting memes and random ass bullshit in the translation." They say, "Oh, well, it's really hard to translate Japanese to English." That's not the issue.
no,
The issue is that they put fucking memes in the translation and they didn't need to, and then they went on social media to clap back about it and
yeah.
gloat about it.
Well,
That's the issue.
Oh yeah, that's
There's no. What I'm saying, there's no
Yeah,
part of this where it needs to be mentioned that, oh, it's really hard to translate Japanese to English. That's irrelevant. It's not. It's just straight up not relevant.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm having a reference to the main thing of, like, I want something, like, I want the I want this experience. I want this
I
translation.
don't want to
I
have the
don't want the
fucking
extra.
translation staff's ego
Yeah,
vomited all over the work when I'm trying to watch a fucking anime. And that's
yeah,
the issue. And they keep coming back to, oh, well, it's really hard. No, it's not. It's not hard. These are the what these are people who are really supposed to be invisible. I don't need to know the name of the person who
yeah,
did the translation. It's not fucking it shouldn't be relevant. But part of the issue is like that's part of the issue is you have people who don't want to be invisible
yeah.
and who want to have their translation decisions praised by people, I guess. And so they'll they'll like they'll make a 30 some tweet thread on Twitter explaining why their weird idiosyncratic translation decisions that the consumer doesn't want, by the way.
Yeah.
That's been vocalized many times by people who actually watch anime that they don't like this and they don't want this, but they make this 30 some odd long thread about why their translation decision was the objectively best decision that could have been made, despite the fact that part of their evidence is that, oh, I asked people on Discord what they thought. I asked my peers, I asked other narcissistic translators on Discord
Hmm.
what they think about this, and and the second part, nobody actually nobody who buys this as an end user actually cares. Nobody cares that you think your translation decision was the objectively best decision. The problem is, and this is where this is the where the disconnect comes in.
Mhm.
You're you're making a product for a consumer. If the consumer doesn't like it, and the consumer doesn't buy it as a result, because you decided that you want to do what you want instead of doing what the consumer wants, that's like that's literally on you.
Hmm. Yeah.
I haven't bought a Funimation release in when was the time they did the it was like a year after they did the Gamergate thing in the prison
Oh
school simuldub.
God, that Jesus Christ, we're actually going back now.
So like I haven't it's probably been it's probably been at least half a decade since
Mhm.
I've legitimately bought a Funimation release.
Yeah.
I think the
Um.
last one I bought was a used copy of Rumbling Hearts.
Damn, it's been that long. Um. Also, we got some chats active here. Yeah, Bab, do y'all talk about MMA? No, or mostly about anime and video games actually. So if you like that stuff, feel free to stay in. Attila, having worked as an interpreter and translator, English and Spanish for 13 years, adding your own political and own take on the original message is unethical. Exactly.
It's
Um,
completely unethical, but people do it anyway,
yeah,
and
and
because the organizations that they work for aren't gonna do anything to them, because the organizations that they work for are going to run cover for them when people start clapping back at them.
mm, and it breaks the trust on the professionals that keep the message as true as possible. Exactly. Um, But yeah. But we're talking about anime and video games mainly, so we don't really talk about MMA stuff. But yeah, which is kind of funny. It's like you got a big company like Funimation kind of doing this, and in turn, you could say even fan subbers have more professional integrity than fucking Funimation, which they do at this point. I'm not even fucking
well,
lying.
that's not hard at this point though.
No, that's not hard because they do one job. They're the silent workhorse.
But
Translate it,
so
you're good.
this, but so that's the other segment of the issue is it definitely is all well and good to look to fan subbers and say, okay, they're doing a better job, but they're not in a position where their their output is their output contributes to the market in a way that uh
Mm.
in a way that Funimation does.
I really don't.
This is the major issue, and this is the major thing that has been missing from the segment of the Western subculture that that actually cares about this shit is that nobody seems interested in participating in the market, and everyone seems to want to circumvent the market. That's not how it fucking works. Not
Yeah.
in the anime industry.
Not all fan subs, unfortunately. I came across bad fan translation. Yeah, there are some bad ones out there too. Um, but it just the fact that they're also like clapping back on people saying, like company does this, community doesn't like it, company claps back on the people saying they don't like it, and then you got again across the ocean, you got Japan over there, and their fans are like, "What the fuck?" Like right now, like honestly, they've been actually the Japanese anime fans out there have been voicing their opinions on Twitter. They're like, "Why the fuck are you guys doing this? It doesn't make sense." Which is like if I was a creator of a series, I did this, and it gets translated into another country, and they're adding their own shit in the translation. I would be kind of irked to be like, "I didn't do that. What are you doing?"
Yeah, you probably definitely would be upset.
Yeah, like,
but what the issue is anything going to come of that?
yeah, true.
Because here's the thing: is when basically when the rights holders in Japan and this is my understanding, when the rights holders in Japan hand this off to Funimation or whoever's doing the translation and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like they basically handed it off because they're not experienced in creating a product for a Western market or marketing a product to the Western market. So, which is part of the exact reason why they outsource this stuff to Western companies in the first place. Because Funimation will pay for the privilege to handle all of that for them. So why not? Why not? Why not take their money and give them the rights rather than having to invest all this money to build an infrastructure in order to be able to market and sell in the United States, plus learn how to do that, and so it's not guaranteed to even work.
Yeah.
So that's really the issue, and why I feel like a lot of this auxiliary stuff is kind of a red herring. A lot of the fact that Japanese fans are looking at this and they're getting upset. The fact that like the fact that fan subbers are often more professional and whatnot. All this stuff is a red herring. The issue is what is going to be done about these people in the industry who continue to do this with impunity. What has happened to any of these people because they've done any of this, and particularly because they continue to clap back at the fans who take issue with what they're doing.
Which I don't even get. You're clapping back on the people who are passionate about this stuff, and they have like just questions to ask, like, why are you doing this? And your counter is to insult them back, calling them like, oh, you're just you're an incel, or you're like a Nazi or something like that. And I'm like,
because they hate those people. They hate those people. They don't like the people who ostensibly we're to assume these are people who are like actually buying the stuff.
Yeah, like why? Like never bite the hand that feeds you. Never, like that's an age-old thing.
Well, to be fair, this isn't necessarily the hand that that feeds them. They have an organization above them that's going to run cover for them, and there's not a whole lot, at least in my observation, not a whole lot has happened to anybody who has made one of these translations, made one of these line replacements in a dub or a subtitle track.
Yeah. God, at this point, I'd just rather just watch everything subbed.
You say that,
yeah,
but they're fucking around with the subs too. And I said this back when back when the Funimation thing originally happened in prison school. I said this back then that yeah, people are saying, "Oh, well, this is why I watch subs. This is why this is why I never watch dubs." And I said, what makes you think that they're not gonna fuck around with the subs too?" Lo and behold, they're fucking around with the subs too.
So it's like we have a ghost story situation, but it's just worse.
Oh, you wanna you wanna you wanna tear it all down? The ghost stories was the thing that started all this shit.
Yeah.
I, and I understand every time like mistranslation discourse comes up, ghost stories is always, well, what about ghost stories? The ghost stories dub, it, you got two options. Number one, the ghost stories dub should never have existed the way it is. Or number two, it should have been bonus content on the DVD and nothing more. But
Basically, it was
the fact that Ghost Stories never got an official dub, and not only that, the what let me stop myself. The fact that Ghost Stories never got a dub that was actually accurate to the source material, and the fact that they spent a decade plus, more than a decade,
yeah.
lying about the backstory behind that dub. Like that's it, it it's egregious. It recontextualizes the entire thing about ghost stories. Not that it was like a good paradigm, because it's not a good paradigm to say that, oh, this thing bombed in Japan, so we can do whatever the hell we want with it. We can go ahead and recontextualize the entire thing because it wasn't a success in Japan. So who cares? Who cares what we do with it? It's another thing and that's bad on its own. But it's another thing entirely to take a show that is successful and continues to be successful, but you as a but it's the kind of show that your company's it doesn't like ADV at that time. ADV didn't do like children's programming. And that's what Ghost Stories was. It was a children's
Oh.
show.
Yeah.
So now they have the license to this show that they have no idea how to market. So what did they do? Oh, we've been given this permission. We're gonna punch it up. We're gonna recontextualize the entire thing and make it into something that it isn't. In order so just so we can sell it. The real answer is you never should have bought the license in the first place. That's if you are if you're a licensing company and there's a property that you know you can't market, why would you buy the license to it? Now you've given yourself a product that you have no incentive to to remain accurate, and B, like you know that you can't market it the way it is. So, and by the way, they this is not the first time this has happened in the anime industry. Very very early on, a lot of the first licensed anime were done in a similar way, not to like make them raunchy comedies, but they were done in a similar way where they would take the animation but recontextualize everything with regard to the storyline. And the Japanese industry actually had there's a very infamous story that I might be apocryphal. I don't know. I think there's some elements of it that's true, where uh it was one of the big anime directors at the time, and his company had sent a katana to one of
Oh,
these American companies that would done that with a note attached to it saying no cuts because
I
he
think it
was
was
tired of them doing that to
was
his anime.
wasn't it Studio Ghibli? Wasn't it?
I think it
Yeah,
was.
I think it was Studio Ghibli. Miyazaki was like, I think the movie in question was Princess Mononoke.
It might have been that. I don't
Yeah,
know for sure all the details, but I know that.
yeah, yeah.
But
It
so this
was
is not a thing that's new.
no,
This is a thing that's now it's you're not getting a katana in the mail if you're Funimation saying no cuts. On some level, Funimation is involved in production committees now, so they're to a certain extent they're part of the Japanese industry insofar as they help fund a whole lot of anime. So there might not be an incentive to tell them that, and or you they the Japanese industry might not be able to afford to lose that business because they're so back. This was few years ago. I think this might be close to half a decade ago. There was a one change in a Chinese law with regard to what they would allow to to be broadcast on Chinese internet and Chinese TV. And that one change made made the entire market concerned enough to completely stagnate growth for the overseas anime industry. So if there was some kind of change like that, like the entire industry would lose a lot of revenue overnight. So
oh,
there's an issue where to a certain extent maybe Funimation just has free reign to do what they want because they know they're in a particular position. I
yeah.
don't know that, and I'm not saying that's what's happened. But the issue is that they're not getting sent a katana in the mail. So so it comes down to an issue of all right, how is how is the business side of the Western industry gonna respond to this? We really haven't had a new licensing firm spring up
No, everyone's been
that isn't
basically
that one we haven't had a new licensing firm spring up that isn't like a boutique shop in like a decade plus, more than a decade and a half maybe.
yeah, yeah. Also, Anubis, the whole Miyazaki thing. So
Yeah.
apparently, yeah, it was Miyazaki, but he said, actually, my producers did that. So he did. They did send, and the person in question was Harvey Weinstein, which that's its own shenanigans
Yes.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It was his company.
because Miyazaki was kind of pissed because they heavily edited Nausicaa Valley of the Wind,
Mhm.
and he was like, "You're not doing this." Yeah, it's like actually my producers did that. Although I did go to New York to meet this man, and I was bombarded with all this aggressive attack, all these demands for cut. He smiles. I defeated him. Like, so yeah,
So that's no longer happening, and
yeah,
we've had multiple works that have come over in translation, and parts were cut, and or parts were changed, or
yeah.
parts were censored. So that's not a thing that's happening anymore, and nor is nor are the people responsible for these changes having any adverse career consequences as a result of that.
Now, sooner or later, they're gonna piss off the wrong person, and it's gonna be the Miyazaki situation all over again.
I don't know that that's going to happen. They've made some pretty egregious changes. They've all like Seven Seas has already multiple times made changes to light novels and whatnot that they've had to reverse after. Funimation has already several times made changes in dub scripts and subtracks and whatnot that they've had to change after the fact in the disc release. Like you've already had multiple of these instances where the change was egregious enough that they've had to go back and re and revise it for a later release.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure 7C is like had to
Was that
like they
bad that
had
they
they had
had
to they had to replace people's books. Like they had
that
to offer to replace people's
they
books. And
fucked
this
it up
isn't
that
like
bad? Damn.
yeah. So and on multiple occasions they fucked up this bad, and still we're in the same paradigm.
God damn
None of
it.
these companies has come out and said, "Hey, we understand. We we've continued fucking up and continued gloating about fucking up and continued employing people who go on Twitter to gloat about the fact that they're fucking around with your product. They're fucking
Mm.
around with the the thing you buy for your enjoyment." And they're gleefully laughing about it on social media.
Yeah.
And no companies come out and said that. No companies come out and said, and we're putting a stop to it. It's not going to happen anymore. We've learned from our mistakes. These people are not working at these companies anymore. None of these companies are saying that. So what I'm left to believe is that all these companies agree with what these people are doing. Because if they didn't, why does it keep happening?
Mm. Interesting topics for tonight is our main topic right there. Yeah. All right. Shit. Why does it keep happening if it's a
The
see what a,
the Western anime industry needs more, the industry needs more diversity in terms of the number of companies are out there,
yeah.
and
I
they're
guess
like the Western subculture has gotten to a point where they're way too reliant on the same massive companies that have grown so massive by overtaking all of the other companies in the industry.
it's like a
That
it's like a battle
it just
royale basically.
well, the industry has been ripe for disruption for, I would say, half a decade, three quarters of a decade at this point.
15 years.
And
Yeah.
and and quite frankly, part of it is that it hasn't happened because there definitely is an element of the Western subculture, but and particularly in people who do really give a care about
Mm.
the stuff we're talking about the quality of these translations, and really not the quality of the translations, but the fact that people are, like, inserting whatever they want into them. The people who they're Among the people who really care about that, there's very little initiative to actually get into a position where you're able to make a difference in that. There's
Mm.
very little initiative to actually get to a position where you can be part of the solution to that problem. But there is a whole lot of there's a lot of initiative for whining on Twitter about it, and that's
Yeah.
really the issue.
Yeah. I think we can wrap things up here tonight, Anubis. But yeah, so that was episode 10 of the Daikon show right there with the Western anime translation issues. And now moving on to our last segment of the night for the podcast, which is going to be the board. The board segment is as follows. We put up anime recommendations on the board from a scale of bottom tier F tier to A tier, but we also include S plus tier for the animes who are not only that great, but also change the industry in one way or another. So, this does include anime, OVAs, movies, live actions, all that dandy stuff. We can also throw in hentai as well because, anime. But first and foremost, I will go first. I forgot about. I almost forgot about this, but this came out in 2004. Samurai 7,
Okay.
which is based on the movie The Seven Samurai. Akira Kurosawa's film, and
Yeah.
it's basically, yeah, it's an anime based on the Seven Samurai, but it's its own thing. Like, I remember watching it like a long time ago, and I'm like, oh shit. So, and all the main characters kind of represent also the characters in the film basically as well. But basic premise is this village keeps getting screwed over by by these scoundrels and all that anti stuff, these raiders. So they had enough, and they hire seven samurai to help defend the village, basically. So with this, the Samurai Seven, it wasn't bad at all. I thought it was like a really good. I thought it was like a high C effort. Basically, it was kind of like a. I'll watch it once, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that down there as a high C effort.
All right.
Almost a B minus. Almost a B minus. It was almost there. All right. What about you, Anubis?
All right. Help me out here, Panda. Is Fully Cooley on the list?
Yeah, Fully Cooley has to be on the list. Like that. That.
I did the Control F for FLCL and Fully Cooley all spelled out, and it doesn't appear to be on the list.
Yeah, it's on the list. It's
Where is it?
A tier, up near the front. I'm gonna actually take the time to actually
missed that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually take the time to alphabetize this shit. Don't you worry, I'll make it happen. But yeah, it's an A tier definitely. I was about to say, Fully Cooley is one of those animes
that's where I was gonna put it.
Yeah, it's one of those animes where it's like, if it's not on fucking this list, we're doing it wrong. Like that should have been on there a long time ago. So okay.
Well, damn, that means I have to
That means you have to look.
find another one.
Another one.
I really need to figure out a different way to organize like my copy of the list, because this is having everything in a big block paragraph in an Excel spreadsheet really is not helping anyone.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna start alphabetizing this shit. So
I'll probably have them all in like a try to do a matrix sort of thing.
oh yeah.
Have a big range for each category, and then a group of cells. Like each title gets its own cell, so I can find shit instead of, it'll point me to the cell that it's in. If I do a Control F, it'll point me to the cell that it's in, but it won't. Like, I have to look in there and find it myself, and that's just a gigantic pain in the ass.
Yep. Well, I
Can't tell I'm stalling for time because I have to choose another one.
Yeah, I already got my next one lined up already. So that I got the next one good to go here, because I'm now looking at like 2000s anime, those stuff I watched but I haven't seen in a long time.
Okay, I don't think we have this one on the list because I almost never talk about it because it's not very good. Okay. There's a show from the mid 2000s called Magicano. Do we have that on the list? Have I talked about that one?
How do you spell that?
Magikano.
What? Oh God, I don't even think we do. Hold on. No, we are good to go. Magicano.
Yeah, it's quite honestly D tier, and it would be like a high C, but the ending completely ruined and invalidated any good this show could possibly have had.
Did it pull like a 180? Like it was leading towards this thing, but it just completely derailed it into a train wreck?
No, it was so like they have to defeat this like big evil thing, and so they figure they're battling it and they're trying to defeat it, and they realize they can't defeat it, so they just reverse time back to the beginning of the end.
Oh, they pull like a fucking Deus Ex Machina fucking shit?
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, it ruined the whole anime for me. It was like when I watched Gundam 00, and then when I watched Gundam 00 second season, and I realized that this is what 00 was building up to, and that made Gundam 00 a little bit less of a good anime.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I got another one. I know it's not on the list. Afro Samurai.
We don't have we don't we
No.
don't have that on the list.
No. No. I'm surprised. I
Oh,
checked that.
I guess we don't.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Um. I Samuel L. Jackson doing the voice. I'm like, yep. Yep. I kind of high B, low A. What are you thinking?
I'd put it at high B.
Yeah, high B. Yeah, I that one I enjoyed. It was a hell of a ride. And again, that was like the dub that I'm like, I'm gonna watch because Samuel L. Jackson's voice is fucking awesome. Anything he touches makes it good. Even Snakes on the Plane, god damn it. You only watch it because of him. Let's be honest now.
Yeah.
let's be absolutely 100% honest. You only watch it because of him. So, all right. But yeah, I think high B definitely is a good place for it. So, all right.
All right. Please tell me this is on the list. Space Battleship Yamato 2199 specifically.
Yamato Yamatao or
YAMATO.
Yamato. No, I don't think so. Which one was it?
That's Space Battleship Yamato 2199. That's the remake.
Oh, this is. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go for A tier with that one. It's like an excellent remake of an excellent anime that doesn't attempt to invalidate the previous work, but takes what it establishes and
It builds upon it,
tells the
basically.
same story by building up off of it, and in a way that yeah, they really could not have done it in the same way back in 1970 whatever when the original Yamato came.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, um, not Steven Spielberg, George Lucas said, like, hey, I kind of wanted to do the Clone Wars when we're making Star Wars, but we don't have the technology to do it. So I'm just gonna wait on it.
Kind of, but
instead of a remake, but this is a remake, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a retelling of it's an alternate telling of the story
Okay,
in a
gotcha.
different way.
All right, I got a good one.
All right.
And oh wow, I got to be actually specific about this one. Apparently, this is because apparently they already announced another one of these things. 2007's Devil May Cry the animated series.
Okay.
I kind of want to put it in B tier.
All right.
I felt like it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad series. It like come on, we watch it because it was Devil May Cry. But it wasn't like the top best one I want to say out there, but it wasn't bad. So, yeah, that's where I kind of wanted to go at. So B series sounds good.
I'm down with it.
Okay. I have to because I think they just announced a new Devil May Cry anime series, so I have to put 2007 just to be sure. All right. All right, Anubis. What's your next plan? What's your next anime?
Give me 1 second. Let me see if we have this one in here. So I know we have one series from this franchise in.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure we got Metabots. I'm like, okay, we do have Metabots.
All right, I'm talking about Zoid's New Century.
Ooh.
Not Chaotic Century. We already have that one. New Century. The second series, which is the first one that showed on.
Okay, okay, okay. This is 2001. Damn. Okay, where are we putting?
Uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna advocate for a high B, if only because it's like the storyline in Chaotic Century was like it was outstanding. Whereas New Century is like it's much less story focused. It's a lot more.
A lot of
Hey, we're doing
flair, but
competition battles, and then the criminal organization is gonna show up. Like it's a lot more like a battle of the week show.
oh, gotcha. Okay, it's like a lot of flair, but but no heavy substance of the story, basically.
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha. God. I wanna. I need to remind myself. I gotta watch Near Automata anime.
So do I.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. You still need to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
It's on the list.
Good. Just I'm just saying, like it's definitely a worthwhile thing. Jesus Christ. Wow. Wait, do we have Monster Rancher? I think it's like one of those things. I'm
It's not showing up for me.
wow, really? Monster Rancher? Okay. Wow. Jesus Christ. Um God. If you want nostalgia, look no further to Monster Rancher. I think this came out like what, 1999? Like the
It
OG TV series?
it was one of it was definitely one of those like also ran shows that came out in the wake of Pokemon.
Yeah. Like it was like, hey, if you don't like Pokemon, there's always Monster Rancher. Like, um I want to put it because you've seen it, right?
I've seen a little bit of it.
I want to put it B tier.
Yeah,
Easy,
mid-level B, I'd say.
an easy B, basically. So I know the video games were definitely successful. Like the original one, I think what was it, 1 and 2. So all right, back to you, Anubis. It's like we're playing a game of tag. Just recommend something, anything.
Okay, hang on. There's no way.
What?
Do we not have any strike witches on this list?
Shit. Oh God, we don't.
This is a fucking problem.
Okay. Strike witches. Where we put
Strike Witch is the original.
them? All right.
That's A tier. I won't accept anything less than A tier. I could try to make an argument for S tier, but I'm not going
No.
because this you could make the argument, and I'm I'm willing to hear back and forths. You can make the argument that this is the anime that really put the whole moe military trend on the map. But I won't make that argument. A tier.
No. No. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it because there was what, the original series, then we got
Well, there was the OVA, then the original series, then the
okay.
movie,
Yep.
then a whole bunch of then the other OVA, Operation Victory Arrow,
Oh yeah. Yep.
then a whole bunch of spin-offs of varying quality.
Very quality. Goddamn. Let's see here. God, now it's back to me again. Fuck, I wasn't ready for this, Anubis.
Ooh, are you saying? Are you saying that you don't have an anime prepared?
No, wait.
much like I
Yep.
never do.
Yep. Wait. Do we have this? I'm gonna do it, but it might be a little questionable, but the rating I put down for it will make sense.
Okay.
Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within.
Okay.
I'm not giving it a good rating. If that's what you're
Oh,
thinking.
no,
No. No way I'm
I
gonna give
know
it a
you're
good rating.
not. I know
No.
you have some taste. I know you're not.
No. Like, oh, God. If they named it something else other than Final Fantasy, ugh. But because
The
it's
movie
Final
that
Fantasy,
killed SquareSoft made them had to merge with Enix.
and it was like the most expensive fucking animation movie of its time too. Like they
Yep.
poured everything into it.
Yep.
Let's see here. I wanna. I want to put this. I'm like F tier. But is there anything salvageable that I could put it in D?
I can tell you what. I I I watched the movie twice. Still had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Now maybe that was me not paying attention. Or maybe that's the movie not really
All right. Let me ask you
not
this.
really
Let me
okay,
ask you this. Are you willing to watch
go for it.
this over the Code Geass movies?
No, I would watch the Code Geass movies every
FT,
single
okay.
day of the week and twice on Sundays
Twice
instead of
on
Final Fantasy
Sunday.
the series.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was about to say I'm looking at this like I would watch those rather than this all over again. So you're right. Final Fantasy: The
Because I
Spirits
know
Within.
what
F
actually
tier.
happens in Code Geass. I can ignore all the parts of the movies that suck. This is just not a particularly redeemable motion picture.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I got another one lined up, but you're
So
next.
do I. Brave Witches, C
Ooh.
tier.
Okay.
The different way they tried to tell the story really did not
Pan out.
it wasn't like it feel compared to the original Strike Witches, it feels like it was more trying to tell one character's story
Yep.
than really give each character their time to shine. And it was as a result, it came off as not only a lot more melodramatic, but just we didn't quite get to know all these characters, and it was disappointing because this is after the point where there had been this entire established universe around Strike Witches and all these other different units and characters. So to have the first series that focused on a different unit basically trip and fall so abruptly, it was a bit massive disappointment.
All right. Next one. It's. I don't think this was. Actually, oh, this wasn't made in Japan. This was actually made here in our territory. All right. Let me ask you that. Because we haven't added any any Western-based animation to the list, right?
As far as I understand, you're correct.
Because I would have been like Avatar would have been thrown on the list somewhere and all that Danny stuff,
Yeah.
or Jackie Chan Adventures, or Megas XLR. I was gonna put up there Blue Eye Samurai.
Yeah, I don't know that should count. I don't know that just
Nah,
something
nah.
being marketed that way. I don't know that should
Well,
count.
no. I thought a Japanese studio had their hand in this, but it was all U.S. You know, it was all Western based. Okay, so wasn't there a Zone of the Enders anime?
I think there was.
There was.
I think there were two.
We got Zone
I
of the
haven't watched
Enders.
either of them.
Yeah, I haven't.
It's Idolo and there's another one.
Damn.
Dolores I. Yeah, Zone of the Enders 2167 Idolo and Zone of the End and ZOE Dolores I. Now again, I haven't watched either of these two, but I know they exist.
Um, let's see if actually. Hold on. Hold on. I need to. Um. I need to look this up real quick because I need to know which which movie this thing had. There we go. Anniversary collection. Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought it was Street Fighter 2. Okay. Street Fighter 2, the I don't think we have this on the list. Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
All right. Where are we putting it?
B tier.
All right. Can't argue with that.
I remember watching this literally from, if you have like a Street Fighter Anniversary Edition on the PS2, it literally came with it as a bonus DVD disc. So that's how I watched the anime movie, because I knew there was like Street Fighter anime films out there, because they didn't really do a series. It's all basically just films that they made. But I never really started watching until that moment. So I'm gonna definitely put it in the B tier. All right. All right.
All right. I need to see if we have this on it. We don't appear to. Check if we have Voice of a Distant Star on the list.
No, we don't.
I'm gonna advocate for A tier. This one could be S tier, but the quality isn't. The reason it could be S tier is because this is like basically this is Makoto Shinkai's first major work.
Oh, this is like his basically debut.
Pretty much.
Okay.
It would be S tier, but like you can tell that A, it was his first major work, and B, he didn't have all these staff and all these resources and whatnot.
So it was
It's not that it
really,
looks bad, but it's
he had to use what
it's
he
not
got,
a
basically.
like yeah, it's not
He-
a massive professional production.
Gotcha. But the fact that he was able to do something like this was like, holy shit.
Well, it launched his entire career, and it continues to be the same formula, or the same like general storyline, star-crossed lovers sort of thing.
Okay.
But again, Makoto Shinkai is a one-trick pony, but it's a really
good
trick.
trick. I will give it the A tier. I'll definitely give it the A tier. Up there.
Voice of a Distant Star, A tier.
Okay, I think that was that 5 of us, 5 each that we did.
I don't know. I lost count. What I had Magicano. I had
Voice of a Distant Star.
Magicano, Voice of a Distant Star.
Strike Witches, Star Blazers, Battle Shoes.
Star Blazers, and Zoids, New Century. So that's 5.
Yeah, okay, I did my 5 too. So, all right, I think that's it for today. So we're gonna wrap things up here. So again, our segments for the DAICON podcast, we introduce ourselves, see what's going on, we hit the news, we do our main topic, and at the end, we put anime on the board for our recommendations, which will be posted and updated on my Discord, so make sure you all join that as well. Anubis, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Any last things you want to say?
No.
You want to watch anime?
Maybe, if I remember to.
Please watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh, it was 6 because I had Strike Witches and Brave Witches.
Okay. You know what? If you haven't watched Cyberpunk, and when we were by the time we had the anime Boston watching Cyberpunk in the hotel room,
All I'm saying, it's on the list.
I'm just saying we're gonna watch. I will show you at least two to three episodes in the hotel room.
Sure, you can do whatever you want. It's on the list. There
Okay.
are many anime on the list. It's not up to me. It really isn't up to me to dictate when I watch any particular anime that's on the list.
All right.
I watch anime when I get to it. I've even finished all the anime that I have physical media. Like,
let's not go. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Anubis' conscious brain. It's not up to me.
I got physical anime here. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. I'm in the same ship. I don't want to be in the same ship.
You're how? Yes, so you understand where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm just saying at Anime Boss, I kind of want to show you this.
I'm saying it's not up to me when I watch anything that's on the list.
Okay, all right.
It's not. You think I'm joking? It is not up to me.
I will influence this. I will influence this NAB. Okay, we'll watch it.
Sure. I don't have any control over.
we will have control at Anime Boston.
My conscious brain is not in control of when I watch it. You think this is a joke, a funny haha? I'm telling you. I watch anime when the brain is not in control. The heart is in control of when I get around to a particular anime. That's why I'm somewhere in the middle of like 30 different anime. Because
you're preaching to the choir here, buddy.
Yeah, it depends on when I feel like. So yeah, I'm preaching to the choir, but you're still on me about Cyberpunk. It's on the list.
Okay. Well,
it's either way, everything else.
Either way, we'll talk about this later on. But above all else, I will continue on with the stream. But thank you all for being here. Hope you guys keep being awesome out there.